Hello everyone and welcome to this video. I am Ayush and in this video we are going to discuss the most important Python library, which is Matplotlib. This library is used for data visualization and you can create graphical graphs such as the one which you are seeing on your screen. So without any further delay, let's get started. Alright guys, so now let's discuss about the Matplotlib library, which is a very awesome library for data visualization. So first thing we're going to discuss is why use Matplotlib. Matplotlib is a cross-platform for data visualization and graphical plotting library for Python and its numerical extension NumPy. So we are going to use Matplotlib for data visualization and graphical plotting. Now it will be very awesome plotting. We're going to do different types of plotting. Even we are going to take a real life example as well. So this will be a very awesome video. I'm not going to cover each and every plots because it will take more than 50 hours of video. 50 hours of video, so it will be a very long video. Obviously no one going to watch it, so there's no purpose of making such long videos. So I'm going to cover the important ones which you need for data visualization. As such, it offers a viable open source alternative to MATLAB. One more thing here, it's built on a numerical extension NumPy. So before you start doing Matplotlib, I would request you to watch this video, which is master NumPy in one video in just 90 minutes and then master pandas in one video in just 2 hours. So I would recommend you to watch if you already have the knowledge of the NumPy and pandas, then you're good to go. But yes, if you don't have, then you can go ahead and watch NumPy and pandas video as well. As such, it offers a viable open source alternative to MATLAB. It's a alternative of MATLAB, and Matplotlib is open source, so you need not to pay for it. Developers can also use Matplotlib API. API is application programming interfaces to embed plots to GUI applications. So if you consider you have an app, so consider if you have an app. So in that app, if you want to put the same plot, you may created a plot and a graph, you want to embed it. So if you want to embed it, you can just use Matplotlib's APIs, so that you can paste it in your apps and share it to many people. It allows you to generate high quality line plots, scatter plots, histograms, bar charts and much more. This I'm going to discuss as well. It helps in visualizing the data, same thing as first point. Alright guys, so the next thing which we are going to discuss is loading the library. So it's very important to load the library. Let's go ahead and import. First thing is Matplotlib. Matplotlib dot pyplot. So for plotting we are going to use pyplot as plt, and then go ahead and import numpy as np, and then import pandas as pd. Shift enter. Take few seconds and it will be loaded for you. Here Matplotlib, NumPy and pandas is loaded. Let me restart the kernel so that it gets the first number here. It will be much more organized. So now let's discuss about the basic plotting. Alright guys, so now let's go ahead and create a basic graph. This will be a very basic graph. Let's create a x-axis 1, 2 and 3, and let's create a y-axis 4, 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, x and y-axis, and then plt dot plot. So we'll go ahead and plot it, and first go ahead and plot the x and then go ahead and plot the y-axis. Shift enter, and there you go. Here we have our plot being created. The first plot is this simple line. Y-axis, x-axis has been created, but one thing which is annoying a lot is this line. This line is kind of annoying, so if you don't get rid of this line, just go ahead plt dot show and then you are get rid of this line, because that's kind of annoying if you're using Jupyter Notebook. So now it's much better. Here is our y-axis, here is our x-axis, and here is our line, which we have plotted just now. Alright guys, so now it's time to label our graph. So this graph is looking like just blank graph with no labelings, no title, no y-axis, no x-axis, just is looking blank label. So we need to label it. First is go ahead and create a title, plt.title, and write our title, my first graph. It's my first graph. Let me give an exclamatory sign here so that I'm very happy about my graph. plt.xlabel. So this will be my x-axis. So what x label means, at the x-axis what should I label it? So I'm giving the name of x-axis. This is simple. If in real life, if you're making these types of graphs, obviously you label it very neatly, keeping a time, distance. If you're creating a distance time graph, or any graph if you're creating, then you're going to label it properly. But just for the sake of tutorial, okay, I'm just labeling it anything, label, and here specify y-axis. Just for instance, shift enter, and then you have your my first graph. Y-axis, x-axis has been created. Here we have a simple graph, y-axis, x-axis, and my first graph. So the next thing which we're going to discuss is this title. So this title is actually the font size. I would like to change this because it's looking like blank regular one. So if it would be much better if I change this title's font. So if you want to change it, it's very simple. Just give a comma, make a variable which is font dictionary equal to curly braces, and in this curly braces font font name. So our font name will be, so one of my favorite font is Comic Sans MS. Not sure about the exact name, maybe it's Comic Sans MS, not sure exactly. Let me run this. Okay, here its spelling is wrong, name. Shift enter. Okay, yes, it's Comic Sans MS. Here let me zoom a little bit for you guys so that it will be much better, but yes, it's not visible clearly. Let me bring back here. So it's not visible clearly. I should increase the font size as well. So if you want to increase it, just give here font, just pass along font size, let the font size be equal to something big, 20 would be better. Okay, so here okay, so instead of this font, this will come here. There you go, you have your my first graph in 20 font size, and Comic Sans MS is here. Now if I make it way big, 30, it will be much big, but if I make it to just 1, it will be very small. Can't even see it, it's too small. But 20 would be better. 20. Now we can see my first graph, x-axis and y-axis. Alright guys, so one more thing which annoys a lot to me is this decimal values 1, 1.25, 1.50. It's kind of annoying because it's not the same x-axis and y-axis we just gave up. So here we need to specify the same text which we want, exactly we want. So let's increase the x-axis and y-axis first. 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this will specify our x-axis, and obviously y-axis will be the double of x. So here we need to specify 0, 2, 4 8 here, 2468. Forgot a number here. 68. So here we have our x-axis and y-axis, a little bit more numbers so that it can plot it here. Shift enter, but again it's not coming here, it's again giving a decimal values. We don't want these decimal values, so for that you need to do plt dot x ticks. First x-axis ticks we are going to change. So to change it, just give a parentheses and then square brackets 0 1 2 3 4 plt dot y ticks. Let the y ticks be equal to double of x 0 2 4 6 8 10. Shift enter. There you go, we have our properly labeled x and y axis. Alright guys, so here you can see our ticks has been just changed here 0 1 2 3 4 and here as well. So now this is how you can change the ticks as well. Now this is looking a proper labeled graph. Alright guys, so the next thing which we are going to discuss is legend. So what is this legend? So let's consider, now this is just one line, one simple line. What if I create 2 3 4 lines here? So if I create 2 3 4 lines here, at that time obviously I need to keep them in different colors and I need to even label them. Yes, red means this line, blue means this line, greens means this line. So we need to label each and everything. So how can we do that? Okay, so in order to do the legend thing, to label it, we use something called as legend. So now let me define the legend. I recommend you, whenever you're doing any types of graphs, just keep reading the documentations. As along you'll be reading the documentation and coding along, so that will be much better. So you can read out the documentation, that will be much better. So in the documentation is given that legend. What will this legend do? So plt dot legend, and if I run this, so this will complain me saying that there is no handles with labels. What should I just label? I need to label something. What is that label? So here, while I'm plotting, I need to go ahead and plot x-axis, y-axis and that label. So if I give y is not y, here label is equals to 2x, we can just name it anything. Okay, so here it's 2x is, as you can see here it's written 2x. So now I can change it to anything. If I just test, shift enter, test is given. Now if I have 3 to 4 lines, in that each line defines something else. Example, first line defines blood pressure, second line defines BP, heart rate, oxygen level, sugar level. So different lines define different things. So I can label it one by one. So if this blue line represents test, for now I have given test. Now I think that this was a distance time graph. So at that time, distance time graph, so it will be time and distance. So I can make the speed. So if I hit enter, shift enter, so here you can see the speed. So it's showing the speed is at this. So the person is going at very high speed. But just this is how you can put the legend. You can use legend and label label the line. Okay guys, so one more thing which I would like to change is this color, line of this color, to make it more exciting. So I can just specify color color will be equal to, if I give red, it's going to change it to red. If I make it yellow, it's going to change it at yellow. And it's, if I change it to yell, it's not a color, so it's going to yell at me, giving an error. And if I change it to, even I can give hexadecimal numbers as well, hexadecimal colors as well. So I don't know any hexadecimal numbers, but just random numbers. Let me put A, B, C, D, E, F, shift and it's a random colors. I'm not specifying the color exactly, but you can specify the exact color. Let me open a new tab and search for color picker. Now here I have a color picker. Now I can go ahead and choose a tint. Get this lightish. This will be good. So here you'll find hex. It will be written as hex. Go ahead, copy it, and come back to the notebook. And then here, go ahead, remove this color and paste this. There you go. You have your own favorite color. You can go select from the color picker whichever color you like, or there's another way which you can go ahead and search for example violet hex code. You need to search, so you're going to get the violet hex code. Go ahead, copy it, hexadecimal code address. Go ahead, change it, paste it here. Okay, shift enter. Here you have violet colors line, so whatever you like you can change the color having your own color. Alright guys, so next thing I would like to change is the line width and the markers. So now we are basically designing our graph. Basic making the graph is being done. Now obviously you can skip this part, but yes, it's more important to even have the graph more organized. Let me go and change the line width. Giving out a common, our line width will be equal to, you can give any number, we say 2 here. Shift enter and it's a little bit thick, and you obviously can change it to 10. Shift enter and it's a very big rectangle. You can, now if I'm making 100, it will be more big. It's just going out of the graph only. I don't want this. 5 would be better, I think so. Yes, 5 is, it's a little bit more. 3, okay guys, so 3 is the best. And then let me change it to 2 here for instance, and then I'm going to put something called as markers. Now what is this markers? Let me, after I run this code, you will understand. Markers will be equal to, you can give any marker, string value, and let me give a full stop. So this will give dot 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 markers. Just shift enter. It's reading it to me. Okay, so there's one thing, there's nothing called as markers, it's marker. Shift enter and there you go, you have line width as 2 and marker as dot. Now if I change this to exponential sign, so it will make hats. It's kind of making hats like shape. If I set it S, so it will make squares. Now it's looking diamonds because it's a little bit tilted. So, and if I change it to, there are lots and lots of them, stars. Shift enter, they are stars, but yes, more professional it is this dots, but this dots is looking a little bit small, so I need to make it more big and thick. So I can change the marker size as well. Marker size will be equal to, let's take 10. Shift enter and now the marker size is way bigger. I can obviously change the marker size more, changing it to 20. So, okay, now we can see very neatly all the dots here. Now if I change this to, let's say stars, so these are some stars, but these are too big. 10 will be much better. Yes, so here and full stop. So this is how you can change the line width, markers. You can add some markers and change the marker size to look our graph much better. Now we have, let us revise what we have done here. So first we created a array x and y list technically. We go ahead and plot it, and we just plotted the x and y axis, and then gave us a title my first graph, and y axis name, x axis we give the name, and giving the font name as Comic Sans MS, font size giving out 20, and x label, y label, and changing the x ticks and y ticks. Then plt.legend, so to change the label, so here we gave a label, this means speed. Colors, we change the color to violet, and then you can consider this as pink as well. Line width as 2, marker as dots, and marker size as 10. Alright guys, so one more thing which I like to change is, first let me change this to red so that you can see it neatly. Here this dots, I can change the color of this dots as well. So if I put marker edge color will be equal to, let's say for now, blue, red blue combination, and there you go, your dots has been changed. Now I think you can't see this, let me change the marker size to 20 so that it's visible. You can see it's changed to blue. Now edges is changed to blue, not the whole circles, just the edges are being changed to blue. One more thing which you can do is changing the line style. If I go ahead and write line style will be equal to hyphens, shift enter, and your line is being converted to hyphens, so you can go ahead and play around with it. I'll link below documentation which you can refer. All the styles, texts, each and everything are there, so you can go ahead and take a reference of that of that uh, of the documentation. You can just take a quick look. There are lots and lots of things. I can't cover each and every style as well in this video, but the basics ones are by changing the labels, speed, color, line width, markers, marker edge color, line styles, and lots of them. You can play with it. Alright guys, so the next thing I would like to discuss is, here what if I make another line here, another curve here? How can we do that? So in order to do that, here let's create one array here. Its name will be x2, will be equal to numpy dot arrange numpy arrange. It should be starting from 0 till 4.5 with a step of 0.5. Hopefully it makes sense. And just before showing the plot, I'm going to go ahead and view my x2. So our numpy arrange has been created, arrange, and the next thing is just plot it in this graph as well. So in order to do that, let me give me a little bit of space here. Now here plt dot plot, it will go ahead and plot x2 and x2 square, so our x-axis will be x2 and our y-axis will be x2 square. Alright, okay guys, so let me just give you one quick example. x2 is this array here, and x2 square will be, all the elements will be squared here, each and every element will be squared here, just simple thing here. And x and y axis has been created, and now let me give it a different color. Let's go ahead and give it R. R stands for red. You can just write red or just go ahead and write R, so that's also applicable. and then giving out a label. Already we have imported the legend, so we need not to write again a legend. So just write the label will be equal to x square. So by by looking that plot we are going to understand it. Shift enter, and there you go, you have your second curve has been created for us. This second curve will define the, now if I take an example of a distance time graph, so this distance time graph will be some the first person here is going at very high speed, this guy is going little fast, and then let's hold this speed here, this guy is very fast. So this is how you can create two different lines inside one simple plot just by writing plt.plot, and we have just plotted, then creating a, first we created an array and then plot it in our my first graph plot. Alright guys, so one more thing we can do here is by changing resizing our graph is looking a little bit small, I can change it by resizing it as I specify the inches here. So let me give space here, and plt dot figure, our figure will be equal to our fig size will be equal to 5 inches by 3 inches. Now 1 pixel, how much you want to give the inches, so that will be dpi will be equal to, now I would recommend you to give something more than 300, so 300 inches. There you go, you have a very big graph here, it's very big graph here. Obviously you can change it again, but you can just go ahead and play with it. If I just make it do 1.5 and dpi, let it be same. Okay, now it's little, I've given little bit less space here, and it's like kind of congested graph. But if I change this to just 100, now it's a little bit small, but again it's congested. So you understand my point, you can go ahead and change this dimensions, but I would like to make it 3 by 5. Okay, not 3 by 5, it was 5 by 3, and making this dpi as 300. Different, it will be again big, we have more space, and here we can analyze our data way better. Alright guys, so now I have completed my basic graph. Now it's time to save our graph. So it's very simple to save our graph. Just plt dot savefig, save my figure. I want to give the figure's name. Let me say my graph, graph dot png, it's a png file, and then it's let the dpi be equal to 300. Shift enter. Now one more thing I would like to mention here is I've changed this to 100. It's not 300 now, 100, so that you can look at it much better. Shift enter, and okay, now I am ready. Now let me go back to the folder where I have saved this notebook. There I'm going to get the file named mygraph.png. We go here, and here you have your mygraph.png. Here you can see this is the videos, all the screen records which I'm recording, and this is the matplotlib.ipnyb which you can see here. This is the which I'm working on, and this is the mygraph.png. Let me open this for you, and there you go. Here you have the same graph which we just downloaded. Now I can share the same graph to anybody. I can share this graph to anybody with the png format, and it's now shareable. All the labels here, as you can see, the speed, so this means the speed, and this means the square values, and here are the lines graphs. So this is how you can save the png files. Alright guys, so now it's time to move on to the bar charts. Here we discuss the basic graph, which is the line graph. It was super interesting. Now it's time to create the bar charts. it's also super interesting and pretty safe, straightforward. Then first let's create the labels. Let the labels be here. Labels will be our x-axis, and then plt dot bar. So because it's a bar charts, labels, go ahead and do the labels, and then the values, and then plt dot show, shift enter, and here you have a b c created, and here one all the bar charts. So here obviously you can change the text, change the colors, change the patterns, and even you can change this style of it. So it's not the same what you see in this line charts. It's a little bit different from the line charts, but not totally different, because if you have experience with line charts, then you'll be pretty much familiar with bar graphs. Alright guys, so the next thing which we are going to discuss is figure size. It's almost the same as the line graphs. For now, let's skip the title and all, because again it will be a very long video. Even we need to cover two different data set. Practically also we need to work on, because and it will be a very big video. So let's skip for now. There's a link below in of a documentation provided by Matplotlib. You can go ahead, try each and everything, play around with it, then you'll be mastering the Matplotlib. But for now, let's skip that the title and all, because this we already discussed here. Plt dot figure, here our figure will be fig size, and our fig size will be equal to, okay, 6 by 4, 6 by 4, yes, shift enter, and here you can see figure size is 432 to 288. Now one doubt many people it may come is that here we wrote 1 2 3, and here it's showing the x-axis random numbers. It's not random numbers, because here it's taking at every 0.5 step, it's adding up. What is this? So 0, 0 0.5, 1. So first number is 1, so it's going to create a bar chart at 1. Then next I asked it to make it at 2, so it will go and go ahead 1.52, here 2 it's going to create. So at that thing it's creating. If I change this to just 5, shift enter, it's now here you can see it's different bar chart. You keep changing the values every time. The uh, bar graphs will be changing. If I make it to 500, then it will be way big. If I change this to 1000, now here you can see this is very small, 30. Let's now you can go and play around with it, but for now let's just make 1 2 and 3, for instance, small graphs. Now what we're going to do is creating patterns in this, little bit of style, and then bars will be equal to each bars we are going to change, right? So here we're going to write plt dot bar, and okay, one thing, let me just remove this, delete. Let me, it would be much better if I put it in the bars equal to. Okay, so I put this plotting in the variable named bars, and this bars at the 0th index, whichever bar it is. So at 0th index, the first a bar it is, go ahead at that bar and dot set the hatch means the pattern, hatch as slanting lines, slashes, shift enter, and here you go, you have your slashes here. It has created slash here as a pattern. We can go ahead and play around with this, giving enter, and setting this first index, set the hatch as here we made a problem, messed it up, and here bars, let the bar second index bar be star, shift enter, and here it's not changing o. Okay, it's taking o. I know it's not looking not that nice, but if you take out the documentation and read along the documentation, you're going to get many styles. But yes, just for tutorial purpose, I have just created the bars and gave some random values here, some styles here, and obviously change this to triangle so that this gets okay. This does not exist. There are lots and lots of styles. You can read out the documentation, but for now, let's just create the simple ones. Let me go ahead and save this so that it's not gets deleted. Let's take a small recap. We have loaded the library here. Import matplotlib, pyplot, numpy, pandas. Now you may ask what about the pandas? We have not discussed the pandas. In the practical part, we are going to discuss. We have created a basic graph. My first graph with labels, x-axis, y-axis, a bar chart here. So this was the quick recap on what we have learned so far. Alright guys, so now it's time to move ahead with the real life examples. We are going to work on two different real life examples. First one is the petrol prices. So let's recap. We have loaded the library, basic graphs, bar charts. Now it's time to work on the petrol prices, which is the real life example. First thing is line graphs. So now I'm going to create petrol equal to, let's just take in short gas, because petrol and gasoline both are the same thing. Pd dot read underscore csv. Let the pd dot read underscore csv be the petrol dot csv. So petrol dot csv, make sure it's in the same folder, the same directory where the notebook and this uh, this Jupyter notebook and the CSV file is there. Shift enter and there you go. You have your own CSV file been imported. Here Australia, Canada, and different countries having different types of uh, petrol prices in different types of years from 1990 to 2008. If I go ahead and if you are using Sublime Text instead of Jupyter Notebook, then you can just go ahead and print the gas. Shift enter and here it's been printed for us. This and all I have discussed in the pandas in one video as well. You can go ahead and watch the video, pandas in one video in just 2 hours. I've explained how much I need for data science and data visualization. Okay, so now let's discuss about the line graph. So let me consider that this year, let the year be the x-axis and this countries be the y-axis. Now this x will be the year and the y, then I can plot it much easier. Now let me remove this gas. Plt dot plot. Let me go ahead and plot gas dot year. It will be my x-axis, and gas dot, first let's take from the right hand side, USA. Shift enter and here you go. Here you have USA's graph being created for us. So this is the petrol price in different year, how it goes along with through in USA. Alright guys, so we can just get rid of that line, plt.show, and here is our USA. I can just add another country as well. Let me put another cell here and keep a gas dot head of first 5 just for the reference, so that I can keep just watch it and see it and just write it here. Okay, now let's move on. Let's pick another. Let's take Canada. Gas dot Canada. Shift enter and there you go. Here Canada is here. Now just by looking this CSV 1.87 1.16, start noting it, and it'll get messed up. Instead of that, you can just make here, instead of just doing this thing, we can just make a data visualization here, and here we can see that, oh yes, Canada is having more higher price than USA. on the basis of petrol. Here you can see it's going very high, and here it's like stopped. So and it's consistently going higher and higher, and this is just normal. So this is how you can do data visualization. So I just started Canada. I can add more and more countries as well. Alright guys, so if I come here back up, so here you can see South Korea. Now sometimes what happened, there is two words make one particular word. So at this kind of cases, now here at that time what you need to do, here is just simple, just go ahead and plt dot plot the gas dot year. Okay, it should be capital Y year, and now give a comma, and gas dot, instead of dot we are going to just open square brackets and write South Korea in it. So what will this do now? If I write directly, it's going to give me an error. I'll show that as well. Wow, the South Korea is having even more expensive petrol than Canada and USA. It's more expensive. Okay, but just not talk about it. We are discussing about them. We're not discussing about the gas prices actually. Gas dot, if I write South Korea, paste it here directly, it will give me an error, invalid syntax, because it doesn't means anything. Because so in order to do that, we are going to do something like this. Okay, so here we got an error. Okay, this dot is not valid. Shift enter, and there you go. Here are it's been plot. Now there's few things which annoy me. First thing is this year is not properly labeled. No title, no x-axis name, what this x-axis means, and this number store does not mean does not make any sense. So I need to label each and everything, and then our graph will be ready for data visualization. Alright guys, so now it's time to do a couple of improvements. This is just a blank graph which does not make any sense. So we need to give it a title. First let's go ahead and give it a title. plt dot title, and let the title be gas prices over the time. Let's change this to gas to petrol, because this I'm taking an example of petrol prices over the time, just for the confirmation of people that it is in US dollars. Okay, just for confirmation it is. Shift enter, and here we have petrol prices over the time in US dollars. And one thing which I would like to change the first is this graphs. Now as we are seeing the code, we can say that this, what is this, what does this mean? This is the green is South Korea, Canada is yellow, but when I share it to somebody, it won't make any sense to them, because this they can't see your code. They'll just see this PNG file, and in that file nothing will be there. So I need to go ahead and label it. So go ahead and do plt dot legend and shift enter. Okay, so okay, we need to give the labels as well. So here I need to give the labels. It's very easy to give the labels. Feel free to just go ahead and change the give the labels here, because feel free to go back to the video and watch it, because I know it'll be a little bit confusing here. Label, let the label be for South Korea. It will be this South Korea. Shift enter, and our South Korea is ready. We need to do everything, same thing for here as well. Let the label be equal to Canada, and then let the label be equal to United States. Let's take a small USA. Shift enter, and there you go. Here you have the labels. Now it's looking much better than before, because here we have our labels being created. Blue means USA, yellow, orange means Canada, green means South Korea. Alright guys, so next thing I would like to change is here, this sticks, this x-axis and y-axis is not correctly labeled here, and here the years are not according to me. So if you want to change it, it's very simple. It's giving the decimal value, so I would like to change it. So if you would go to my Python series, in that I explained the iterator concept and the list comprehension. Now if you want to take it in a simple way, it will be like a starting point, ending point with a step of some number. So at that it's going to make, let me give you an example. Print, go ahead and print gas.year, gas.year, maybe yes. So here it's going to print the gas.year, but here you can see this 18 years here, they're totally 18 year. So if I go ahead and my plt dot, first one thing I'll do here is this print, I'm going to shift enter, let this plot be here only, let me add a cell above, and here let me go ahead and print gas.year, gas.year, shift enter, and here our year is been ready. Okay, so now here you can see 18 years. So if I go ahead and plot that same year here, plt pkt plt dot xsticks, let the xsticks be the gas dot year. Hopefully it makes sense. Shift enter, and here you can see it's everything is messed up. It's like squishy, it's squished in the same area because there are totally 18 numbers. So what we can do here is use the list comprehension, start from the very first number, very first index, go to the very last index and do the step of 3 with a step of 3, shift enter, and here we have much less values. We just has 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, we have totally 7 years. So if I plot it here, it would be much better. So it's the same thing I'm going to repeat here, start from the very first and till the very last with a step of 3, shift enter, and here we have much better x-axis which can be plotted. Let me take some few more countries in this plot. plt.plot. Okay, let me copy this because again repeating this will be kinda annoying. Let me go up, let me take now Australia, go ahead, copy it, gas.australia, let the label be Australia, and again I'm going to repeat this. Okay, now it's going to take lot of time, but yes, I'm going to fast forward it. Alright guys, so now here are everything has been plotted here, but it looks like it's a little bit congested here. But yes, this blue line, light blue, means South Korea. Yes, South UK. I think UK is having the most, the very high price of petrol. Now this is lots and lots of data. Now I'll not be able to complete, I'm not able to see the data as well. So let me just make it cut off some countries. Last 4 countries would be good. Great. Shift enter. Now it's much better. Now here you can see USA is having very less very less price compared to other countries, and highest I think is brown means Germany or France, any one of them, I'm not sure. Germany or France, anyone is having the most costly gas petrol prices there. So this is how I added few data here, so that it I am able to analyze the data much better. And then here I just changed the x ticks. Alright guys, so I removed all the countries because it was making a mess. It was not looking nice. So just 3 countries is more than enough. Now let me go and create some nice graphs here. Let me give it a nice design. So for that, after gas.usa, make sure it's after gas.usa, not after label, because it will give you an error. And now just specify blue. It should be blue with dot and that hyphen sign. Okay, so here we need to give a comma, and here you can see blue hyphen like that, it's been created. Same thing you need to do for Canada as well. Let me do for Canada here red dot and hyphen, shift enter, and for Canada it's been created. Same as for South Korea, green. Okay, so here green should be dot and hyphen, dot and hyphen. Here you can see it's looking much more cool and nice because here we created green and here red and then here blue. It's looking much better than before graph. Okay guys, so this is all about how can you change this the design of the graph. We change the x ticks. Now it's time to change the y ticks. Alright guys, so now before going to changing the y ticks, let's put the labels. So let plt dot x label, let the x label be equal to, here self-explanatory, it is plt dot y label, let the y label be equal to, let's take USD or US dollars, dollar. Shift enter, and there you go, your x and y label has been created. It's been labeled. Now it's looking much better. It's looking now much better graph. Now if I share it to anyone, he can understand it. But one thing before doing that is y ticks. Let's change that as well. Alright guys, so before going ahead and saving the figure, now this y ticks is correct because $1, $2, $3, it's correct. So yes, let's go ahead and change this title little bit. Font dict be equal to bold would be better, because every time Comic Sans will not be, it will be boring. Let the font size be equal to 18, so 20. Okay, now it's too big. Let's change it to 15. Okay, so now it's much better. Now we have much better graph being created, and let's go ahead and save the figure. Okay, so it's very simple. Okay, so now let me go and save it. Plt dot save underscore figure. Go ahead and save the figure with the name of gas underscore price underscore data, some random name, I'm not thinking and giving the name, png, and let the DPI be equal to 300. Okay, looks good. Shift enter, error underscore fig. Okay, so it's not save underscore fig, it's save fig. I did a small mistake here. Okay, done. Now let me go to the folder where it's been saved. Okay, so I am in that folder. Matplotlib.ipnyb, the screen records, mygraph.png, petrol.csv, and gas prices data.png. Let me open this for you. Full, and there you go. Here you have your fully analyzed data. USA. Okay, so here you can see USA, and then Canada, then South Korea, then Australia. Then here we can now finally finalize that yes, USA is having much cheaper, you can see cheaper petrol price compared to Canada, and the highest is obviously South Korea. By seeing the data, by just seeing this graph, you can finalize that which country has how much prices and which is having costlier, which is cheaper, and many more things. So now let's move to the next thing, which is the FIFA World Cup. FIFA World Cup's data frame we are going to work on. So let's jump into it. Alright guys, so this is the most interesting data set because for football fans, it's the most favorite of football fans, which is FIFA World Cup. So FIFA, let the FIFA be equal to pd dot read underscore csv. Again, let the data should be, this data set should be in the same directory where your notebook is there. FIFA.csv, I've named it, and let me go ahead and FIFA dot head and our first 5 players, shift enter, and here you have first 5 player, ID 150823, Lionel Messi, age 31, nationality Argentina, same Cristiano Ronaldo, Neymar, De Gea, KD Bruyne. I'm not sure, sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Here are the overall ratings, here are the potential ratings, club which they play for, combusture, marking the lots and lots of data here. We're going to work on this, and at the end of the day we are going to have a detailed data which player is the best player, and obviously we are just by looking this also we can find, but it would be much better if we have a graphical data. So first thing which we're going to discuss is histograms. So this I know I'm not discussed it in this part, the basic graphs part, but now I'm going to discuss this histograms. So now let's jump into it. Now let's go to the histograms. So let me go ahead and plot the histogram plt.hist. It should be my FIFA dot overall, should be overall is here, this overall points, and then plt dot show. It's as simple as that, and here you have your data being created. But one thing which I would like to change is here you can see 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 is just starting from 0 to there's very quite big space. So I would create a bin here, bins. In that bins I'm going to add 0. There will be a players who is having the ratings from 0 to 10, then some players of 0 to 20, some from 20 to 30, 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, and then 60 to 70, and then 70 to 80, and then 80 to 90, finally 90 to 100. These are the bins, and here I'm going to specify the bins. Then bins equals bins, and then shift enter, and now I have much clear data. So here you can see from 0 to 40 there is very less players having the ratings from 0 to 40. There is little bit, not too much, but there's little bit players having ratings from 40 to 50, and then there are lots of players from 50 to 60, then there are lots of players from 60 to 70. So 60 to 70 is having the most number, and then 70 to 80, and there are very less people having 90 to 100 ratings. Alright guys, so now let's do some couple of changes here. And okay, so let's do this. So first thing I would like to do is here, as you can see, first thing I would like to do is to change the ticks here. plt.xticks xticks, and let the xticks be the bins, because bins will be much better name. Here we have from 0 to 100, and players from 0 to 40 is quite rare, because there are very rare players having from 0 to 40. So let me just remove that. Now if I run this, okay, now I have much better data. And something again it's crazy is that from 90 to 100 again it's very less players having 90 to 100 score overall ratings. Okay, but for now let's skip that. And now let's give plt.x label. Let the x label be equal to number of players. plt.y label be equal to their skill level. Hopefully plt.title, let the title be distribution of players skills in FIFA 2018. Shift enter. Okay, so now our y-axis has been labeled, x-axis has been labeled, title has been given. Let Okay, so this is how you can do data analysis in histograms. Okay, next thing I'm not liking is this color, so let me go ahead and change the color. color color, let the color be equals to red. I can go ahead and do like this, but this one problem in this thing, that is there you have very limited things, like you can't go ahead and be fully customized, because whatever Matplotlib provides, that much only I'm going to yeah, specify the colors. But if you want to do something different, obviously you can go to color picker. Let me go ahead and search in the Google for color picker. Okay, so let me choose some color here. Okay, this tint is good, and let me copy this, come back to my notebook, change the color to this. Okay, so this is looking much better than before. Now it's totally depends on you. Some people will say this color is very boring, or it's not nice. It totally depend on you. You can change the color anytime you like using hexadecimal colors. You can just copy the code and paste it here, and it will be changed for you. Alright guys, so now it's time to go ahead with the pie charts. We have discussed about the histograms. It's very simple. Now let's go to the pie charts. It's simple as that. So now pie charts we have discussed. This is very simple thing which we discussed in the data handling classes as well. So this is very simple pie charts we are going to create. So if I go to my data frame, data set, so here there is a parameter which is it's actually preferred foot. In this parameter you can see preferred foot, left, right. What if I create a pie chart for it? How much percentage of people prefer right and how much percentage of people prefer left? Let me go ahead to the notebook back and code along. So first we're going to create number of people who is lefty. So FIFA dot locket, and then FIFA, this and all I have discussed in the pandas video as well. So just watch that video. Preferred foot, if the preferred foot is equals left, then go ahead dot count. Okay, so here then go ahead dot count, go ahead and count it. with giving the index of 0. Let me go ahead and copy this and paste it here left. Here its name will be right, and it will do the same thing. Instead of 4 I wrote 4. Actually it's actually foot here. If it is right, then go ahead and do that. Then we are going to print left and then print right. Shift enter. Error. Nothing called as preferred foot. Let me go ahead and copy this. Let me go ahead, copy this, paste it here, here as well. Shift enter, and 4211 people prefer left leg and 13,948 people preferred right leg. So okay, so now obviously right leg will have more big pie chart compared to left. Let's go ahead and define the pie chart. This will be plot my pie chart in the form of left with the data of left and right. Then show it, because until and unless don't show, then that big lines is going to come to irritate you. Okay, so here we have our pie chart been created, but the colors are very ugly. I'm going to change that as well. Alright guys, so what does this orange and blue means? It doesn't make any sense. So for that we need to label it. So let the labels be equal to left and then right. Right. Okay. So plt dot pie. Okay. So one thing. Let me copy this here. Command X or Control X. Paste it here. So that first it gives the label and then go ahead and plot it, because again it will give an error. And here specify the labels. Let the labels be equal to labels. Okay, a quick tip for you guys is that keep seeing the documentation, read along the documentation and then code along. That would be much better. So or else there are better explanatory video, better explanation, more examples there, but I'm going to cover each and every, I'll try to cover everything. Labels be equals to labels. Shift enter. Now it's been labeled here. This means right and that means left. Okay guys, so these colors are looking very ugly. Let me go ahead and change the colors as well. So let the colors colors be equal to specify the colors whichever you like. Let me go back to the color picker here. Okay, so the best combination I think is going to the dark blue. It's totally depending on you guys. Okay, let me copy this hex code, paste it here, and then here go back here and another color key. So this, let me go to the lighted part. Okay, this looks nice. Copy this and paste it here. Now paste it here, and then let the colors colors be equal to colors. Okay, hopefully it makes sense to you. Shift enter, and this is much better than orange, and obviously you can change it again. You can make it anything ever you like. Right, so this is how you can change colors as well of a pie chart. Okay guys, so the next thing is changing this percentage value. So obviously I changed this colors because it was not looking that nice. So auto PCT, any variable you can keep. This auto percentage value, let the auto percentage value be percentage dot to float, so it will divide into and give a float values, so it's float, right? So now, and then it should be percentage, because again you should write it, is it 78, 76, what percentage, to give the mark of percentage. What if I remove this? So here it has given the number 76.81. What is this? This is a percentage. To define that, we need to give 2. Now why 2? Because this, if I give 1, it will give me error saying that it's thinking it's a kind of notation, so we need to give 2 percentages. Shift enter, and there you go. Here you have 76.81% people. 76.81% people prefer right foot, and 23.19% people prefer left foot. Okay guys, so this is how you can you can just give the percentage value, so that it's much better to analyze the data. Alright guys, so last thing I would like to do is here doing a title, creating a title. It's very simple. plt.title, and then a string value, foot preference of FIFA players. Shift enter. There you go. Here you have a pie chart created, who prefers right foot and who prefers left foot, how much percentage of people with your favorite color, and a title. Alright guys, so this video is getting quite long, so I would end with the last graph, which is the box plots. Let me give the heading here, box plots. And if I skipped any plots which you would want me to cover in a detail, so you can go ahead and comment me in the comment box. And if I get lots and lots of comments on particular plots or a graph, then surely I'll get the Matplotlib part 2. In then I'm going to cover that particular plots. So now let's go ahead and discuss about the box plots. Alright guys, so now let's discuss about the box plots. Let's go ahead and print our this FIFA dot head, the dataset, first 5. Okay, so here we have our head. Let me so if I go here, and here if I go to club part, so what will this do? What will box plots do? Just a quick intro. Example, I want to compare between Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Neymar Jr. So if I want to do it, so if I want to do the plotting, if I want to compare them, so box plotting can be helpful. Like, yes, at the top Lionel Messi with average rating of something, whatever the rating is. Then next comes Ronaldo, then comes Neymar, or whatever. It can be anything. After plotting only, we're going to get who is the best. So yes, maybe many of them maybe disagree with me that this guy is better, this guy is bad. It totally depends on you, but just for now, just leave the controversy and just discuss about this data type. So now first let me talk about the Barcelona. Let the Barcelona be equal to FIFA dot log function, and then FIFA dot club. So this will go ahead in the club section. Okay, actually the club is capital. So we'll go to the club section, and there we need to specify what it should get. So if club is equals, let me copy FC Barcelona here, paste it here. So if you find if this matches, then go ahead, and while doing analysis, that time we even need overall ratings so that we can do much better analysis overall. Go ahead, copy this and paste it here, and make Madrid, and if you find something Madrid here, Real Madrid, it's actually, so change the FC Barcelona to Real Madrid. Madrid, and find the overall. Okay, first let's go ahead and print Barcelona. Okay, so here we have all the players. At 0th index 94 ratings, 7th index 91 ratings, all the way to 114,286th rank, 61 overall ratings. So hopefully it makes sense to you. Let me change this to Madrid. Shift enter, and here I have at 6th number 91. So now just by seeing this I can't tell that, oh yes, this particular club is best or this club is best. I can't say that because this is not plot yet and it's not in the graphical format. According to a research, graphical format is much better to in the graphical plotting. So if you have a graphical image, that would be much better to analyze the data compared to the normal just raw data, and it will be more interesting. So now we are going to just plot it in the box plots. Right guys, so now let's move ahead and plot our box plot. Plt dot box plot. So you'll understand, yes, I need to box plot it, and then specify Barcelona and Madrid. Okay, then go ahead and plt plot dot plt dot show it. Shift enter, and here we have our box plot being created. I know it's not making that complete sense to you because it's looking almost the same thing. Now we need to still label it each and everything. After we complete labeling and everything, then it would look much better, because I need to label them up as well. So let the labels be equal to FC Barcelona. Let me copy it from here. FC Barcelona, Madrid, Real Madrid. Okay, so here let me go ahead and do labels equals labels. Shift enter. Now we have our labels being created. Now by seeing this box plots, we can find out that yes, FC Barcelona is having more advantage compared to Real Madrid. So this is a quick intro on box plots. Alright guys, so let me go ahead and do some couple of changes here. Let me change this to a New English Revolution. That's also a club. So call the new New England Revolution. Okay, so New England Revolution. Here our labels will also come same thing. Let me copy it from here. Okay, so now here our labels has been created, and okay, so here also we need to write revs. Shift enter, and comparatively New England Revolution is worse than FC Barcelona and Real Madrid. So it's totally depending on you. Whatever team you like, you can just import them. So I'll give this data. I'm going to give this data. I'm not able to give this gas data's CSV due to some reasons. But yes, I can give the FIFA World Cup's data set. I can give you. So there's a link in the description of kaggle.coms where you can find this data set. For some reasons, I'm not able to give this petrol price uh, data set. Sorry about that. And next thing I would like to change is the title. Plt dot title, and let the title be professional football team comparison. Okay, so this is a football team comparison, and let the plt dot y label be equal to FIFA overall rating. Okay, so this is our FIFA overall ratings. Shift enter, and there you go. Here you have your box plot been created, professional football team comparisons, FIFA overall ratings, and here we have three different clubs: FC Barcelona, Real Madrid, and New England Revolution. Alright guys, so next thing I would like to change is the styles. Okay. So let me go ahead and change the styles. Let me run a loop for box. Obviously there's another way to do that, just to go ahead and give a comment, specify the color, but it'll just totally mess it up sometimes. So let me run a loop. So for box, in boxes I'm going to just change the boxes colors. That would be better. Boxes, so if boxes, if I find box dot set it to a color, let the color be equal to, specify whatever color you like. Again, from color picker you can pick. Okay, so hash 4286. Obviously I'm copying this from color picker, even you can do it as well. 64 f4. So this will change it to lightish blue. Shift enter. Okay, so here we did one mistake here. I need to put this in a variable so that it can identify easily the boxes. Okay, now it's been changed to blue, lightish blue. So the mistake was here, I did not add it in a variable so that it can't recognize it. So I made it into boxes. Then now it's recognizing it. And this is all about box plots. Right guys, so here it's looking a little bit light. Let me change it to line width. Let the line width be equal to 2. Okay, now it's more thick, and now it's time to change the fill color. So to change that, then box dot set face color, face, not cooler, color. Let the face color be equal to, again I'm copying this from the Google, uh, the color picker, you can use it. It's hash e0 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 e0. Okay, yes, so it's actually only 3 e0s here. Okay, so it's giving me error. Okay, so there is a module, something called as patch artist. Need to say consider it as true. Patch underscore artist, let it be equal to true. Okay, now our fill color has been changed, outline has been printed. Now it looks more stylish, and now we can analyze the data. Yes, FC Barcelona is having more number of, we can think a more number of ratings compared to Real Madrid, and Madrid is having more overall ratings compared to New England. And among these three, New England is not so good among these three. Alright guys, so let me come end this video. Let's revise what we have done so far. Loaded the library, take a quick look of Matplotlib and pandas. NumPy we actually did not hire. We used NumPy.arange. We used it but not too much. We created a basic graph, then a bar charts, and then we worked on two different real life examples, which is petrol prices. Here you can see the petrol prices, and FIFA World Cup we worked on. We created a histogram, pie charts, and box plots. So that is all for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next video with another new library, which is Cbond. Until then, goodbye.